I can explain Isaiah 52:13 to 15. It says, "Behold, my servant will be prospered, he will be exalted and lifted very high." This can be seen in two ways clearly, as is often the case with respect to these prophecies of the first and the last. They can always be seen as only pertaining to the first or include the manifestation of the last. In this case, Isaiah, starting from around Isaiah 38, begins to speak very direct prophecies about the last again and again, again and again. When he reaches 52, here at the very end, it serves as a closure, so to speak. I will explain why, of what Yahweh is going to do through the last in the end times. And in 53, it goes back to what the Mashiach did 2,000 years ago. So it makes a connection between the last and the first in the change that occurs between Isaiah 52 and Isaiah 53. Now, as I've already explained, the prophecies can be taken as pertaining to one, as in both. In the case of Isaiah 53, it speaks of the suffering that the Mashiach would have to endure for the people. The last, as we see in Revelation 11, also has to face death. So part of what Isaiah 53 says is also fulfilled. Obviously, the last could not fulfill it if it weren't for the first. I want to make that clear. But in Isaiah 53, when it refers to the death of the Mashiach, it says like a lamb to the slaughter, like a sheep to its shearers. So it says it in two ways because it refers to the first and the last, the first as a lamb and the last as a sheep. It says it in a literal way and another spiritual, slaughterhouse, sheared, to refer to the fact that what is fulfilled literally with one is fulfilled spiritually with the other and vice versa. So the prophecies that were given literally with Yahweh would be fulfilled spiritually with the last. Yahweh was born of a virgin literally. The last was born of a spiritual virgin. The chosen congregation, which is the virgin of Revelation 2. So here it says, "Behold my servant." What does my servant say? It does not say my son. The last begins as a servant and then is made a son through Yahweh. And then it promises him in the prophecies that he will be made firstborn. And that happens when the first and the last become one. "Behold, my servant will be prosperous, will be exalted and lifted very high." Yahweh prophesies that he will lift the last, and remember that when one lights a lamp, it is done in a high place so that the light illuminates the area. That light is not hidden. So if one is filled with Yahweh and is a light, they become a lamp, and Yahweh takes care of lifting them to illuminate the place. Right now, we are at the end of the story. Therefore, we are in the night. The last comes like a thief in the night, but for the chosen ones, he comes like the Son of Righteousness. So he comes as a lamp in the deepest darkness of human history. And when he manifests as a powerful light in such strong darkness and the grandfather lifts him up, he exalts him so that he can illuminate. "Behold, my servant will be prosperous, will be exalted and lifted very high." As many were astonished at you, see how after saying in the future, he will be exalted, he will be lifted very high, he will be prosperous, future, future, future. Now it says, as many were astonished at you in the past, because he is speaking of the last and then shifts to the first, just as Yahweh will elevate the last, or rather one could even say what is being said here. The last will be elevated just as the first was rejected, and how they treated him. The astonishment caused by seeing the blows given to the Mashiach and what it produced in his face when he was on the wood, that he did not even look like a human being, that surprise will also provoke the exaltation that Yahweh will give to the last, especially when he resurrects. The place where Yahweh will place the last will be completely astonishing for every human being who comes to realize it, especially those who hated and killed him. And it will be surprising because it is something that was set and that anyone can actually receive in one way or another through the true doctrine of Yahweh. Then it says, "As many were astonished at you, for so marred was his appearance that his form did not look like that of a human." Here it was prophesying that Yahweh would be beaten in such a way that he would not look like a human. Thus, he will astonish many nations. So the same astonishment caused by the blows and the way the Mashiach looked on the tree will be how astonishing the exaltation of the last will be. Also the sense that being, you see, the vial of the world for the world, it will be surprising to see the vial in a wolf, such an exalted place. Thus they will astonish many nations. Kings will shut their mouths before him, for they will see what was never told to them, and they will understand what they have never heard. Speaking of the last, how he brings understanding and reveals something that many people wonder about life, scripture, and the end, but have not received an answer until Yahweh sends his servant mentioned here.